friends. As you know, 2.5 weeks ago, I lost my wife Lucy and my two beautiful daughters, Maia and Rina. And it's strange. You see, each of their names reflects a different quality so badly lacking in our world. Lucy, a Latin name, means light. And it's her light that has got us through this. You see, I've come to realize that we can look at everything and everyone in two ways, physical or spiritual. From a physical perspective, we've lost 3 friends. They're no longer here. I sleep alone. Tali, who shared with Rina, is sleeping alone. And Karen has lost the one person she could talk about everything with. But from a spiritual perspective, it's completely different. 15 years ago, 20 years ago, and 48 years ago, candles were lit. And those candles lit other candles, which lit further candles. And from the response before, during, and after the Shiva, they lit a lot of candles. As Chief Rabbi Lau said at the Shiva, everyone writes some pages into the book of the history of mankind. Some have 90 pages, some only have 15. But he added, it's not the number of pages that always matters. You see, some pages have big writing and large spaces, and some have tiny fonts and close spacing. And it seems that Rina, Maia, and Lucy had very small text with tiny spacing. From a spiritual perspective, they had led very long lives. And talking about light, we live in a dark, dark world, a world that needs more light. Israel is demonized, and yet it's the only democracy in the Middle East. Hundreds of millions of Arabs live in despotic regimes, Syria, Gaza, Iran, and yet international university campuses are a hotbed of anti-Zionism. Lucy made the brave decision to relocate our family to Israel 9 years ago because she wanted to live in the most moral, growing, and vibrant of societies in the world, and she didn't want to subject our children to the lunacy of what goes on outside of Israel. Lucy has already brought some clarity to the world. The British Foreign Minister, James Cleverly, issued a statement that condemned terrorism outright, unequivocally, even in Israel, even against Jews. A brave man. When I spoke to CNN last week, I told them that their so-called cycle of violence exists in Israel, but it's caused by the media. Terrorists attack, the media downplays the evil, and then they do it again. Israel's measured response to capture the culprits and bring them to justice is not part of this cycle. They ended the interview by saying, coming up, we'll hear similar stories from Palestinians. Similar stories? How many Palestinians have been mown down by Israeli terrorists with submachine guns at close range? Come on, CNN, you are terror journalism. And Maia, we named her God's water, which refers to Torah. And she was a Torah scholar. She could relate Torah topics to real life and derive amazing meaning. One of the key topics in Torah is relationships. We know that all that matters in life is relationships. And this is another quality so lacking in our world. The important relationships are with our children, our parents, our friends, our siblings. And yet, when we're given the opportunity to earn an extra $10 an hour, we sacrifice time with loved ones, and very soon we find they may have made other plans. Maia was the one who taught all my kids to call their grandparents every Friday afternoon. And in fact, Rabbi Yoni Golka in the UK has suggested starting an initiative called 3 Phone Call Friday. No matter what she was doing, where she was, it was kavua, fixed. She would call Grandma and Grandpa, Nonna and Papa. It was so instinctive to Maia to call family that in the last moments, her natural instinct was to reach for her phone and try to call Daddy. And sadly, I missed that call. Social media algorithms direct us to so-called friends who are the people who agree with us, so we can see life as black and white. There's no gray in our generation. And yet the Torah and the Talmud teach us that life exists in the gap. Do not kill except in self-defense. Do not break Shabbat except to save a life. Listen to your parents unless they ask you to contravene the Torah. Maia wrote about the mitzvah of Korech in her Midrashah Haggadah. Why do we wrap the maror and matzah together, the ultimate symbols of slavery and freedom? To show that human emotions are not straightforward, they are complex. Life takes place in the gap between them. Rina we named after the perek in Tehillim that mentions the name 3 times, Shir HaMalot. And Rina means the happiness you have from looking forward to a brighter future. It's the singing in the shower when you fall in love or have a job offer for something you really want to do. And this is another quality so lacking in our world. There's not enough idealism. People say that millennials are idealists, but they're really just self-occupied. Rina taught us that if you want to build something, like the new sniff of Ezra, the new youth group in Tamar Efrat, you have to work hard for it and take responsibility. And she did. She was the one who organized the team. She was the one who cleaned the clubhouse, actually a car park without walls. She was the one who invited 20 chanichot for a sleepover in our home just 3 weeks ago. And all of them are devastated because how do you replace a Rina? Rina taught us if you want to do something for someone, do it now. And I can tell you from my current perspective, I'm glad that I listened to her. The world needs more Lucy's, Maias, and Rinas. And with your help, maybe sparking off projects to remember them, we can spread their incredible midot across the globe and try to partially fill the gap that was created 2.5 weeks ago. May we know no more sorrow. May we soon fulfill the words of our prophet Isaiah that we read last Shabbat Rosh Chodesh. May the children of Israel soon bring their offsprings in a pure vessel to the rebuilt temple. And may we know more sorrow. Amen.